Just starting off there, what did you guys say to each other out there during that start round?
I don't know. He mumbled something. I think he said, "You ain't scared of me," or something. I said, I couldn't really understand. I think he said, "You ain't scared of me," and I was like, "What?" That was it.
Is there? I can't really figure out the feelings between you guys. I mean, you say you respect each other as fighters, more or less. The personal side, not really so sure. Is this a grudge match? Is it not? It's kind of hard to figure out.
I'll clear it up for you. It's fuck Eddie Alvarez, and if you're down with him, it's fuck you too. How about that?
There you go. Well, we kind of brought up what you said yesterday to him about him not respect. You think he doesn't really respect you as a person, but as a fighter, he shut it all down. He said he thinks very highly of you, and if you kind of don't like him as a person, that doesn't make sense because you don't really know him. Elaborate on why you think negatively about him as a person.
I'm just going off of my experience with him. Me standing up for him when he did something illegal, and then him going on social media saying that I quit and wanted out of that fight. When just that, makes me feel like just the things he said makes me feel like maybe it wasn't an accident. He's said something like, "You're finally off your stool." He tweeted that to me you just don't say shit like that after you do something illegal after the guy. In the heat of the moment, I did what I thought was right, and I thought it might have been an accident. He might have still been hurt through a knee, and maybe just shit gets lost in there, And but the way he reacted after, I know what kind of guy he is.
And obviously, today coming out, we feel like this is a high-stakes fight. You guys both feel like you deserve a title shot, but we know as of this morning, Conor McGregor has that court stuff behind him. He's cleared to fight from all intents and purposes, and it sounds like him and Khabib want to fight each other. So how does that change the stakes of what goes down on Saturday?
Nothing changes. I'm still fighting for the world title after I beat Eddie Alvarez Saturday. The only thing that's going to change is I'm going to have a little bit more downtime to hang out with my daughter.
So you're willing to take time off after this? You're not going to fight again. If you have to wait, 6 months, a year, you'll do that?
A year is kind of pushing it. We'll see, man. I got to win first, and this is a crazy sport. Anything could happen between now and when their scheduled bout is. Somebody can pull out, something could happen. Not that I'm counting on that or relying on that, but this is a crazy thing to look that far ahead. I just got Saturday night that I'm focused on.
I assume it's not just this morning obviously happened, but I mean we knew this was coming. This wasn't a big surprise to you that it went down this way. So yeah.
No, I honestly thought that I was gonna beat Eddie Alvarez Saturday night and fight for the belt at the beginning of next year.
What did you guys say to each other up here?
He mumbled something really weird under his breath. I think he said, "You're not scared of me," or something. I said, "What? What are you fucking talking about?" And that was it.
He was kind of laughing when he came up the stage. It was kind of a strange. Any interpretation of what he was trying to do there?
No clue. No clue.
I guess if he was playing mind games, it doesn't seem to have worked at all.
I don't even know what he said. I think he said, "You're not scared of me," but.
Did you say anything back to him?
I asked him, what? What? It's a weird question or statement to say.
When you look at this card, there are a lot of guys you and Eddie have been fighting forever. Jeremy has obviously been fighting forever. Aldo. Is it, when you look at this card, are those guys, do you think that there's something connecting? It's just neat how many guys here have just got this reputation for being fighters,
There's a bunch of really good matchups on the card. There's a bunch of former world champions and future title challengers. So it's a great card for the fans, and for long fans, old school fans are excited about this card, and there's a lot of, new faces too.
Dustin, do you feel like your last 2 wins refined you as a fighter in any way for this upcoming match?
My last one got me prepared for, a tough fight. But that stuff I already knew, I don't think anything refined me. It's just hitting my stride still, just finding my balance with everything.
His explanation of the illegal knees is something like fighters not really thinking in there; they're just kind of going off instinct, and fighters who are saying they're actually thinking and seeing things are actually pretending like they're smarter than they really are. Do you buy into that at all?
I think and see things in there, for sure.
So do you think that's just an excuse on his part, or?
The crazy thing is, I kind of see what he's saying. Like when you're in there, in the middle of the cage fighting, you're just going. If you're thinking, you're already, you're a step behind. You're just going off a reaction. But there are times in fights, like when you clinch or when you get pushed up against the fence or you get taken down or you take somebody down, where you have clarity for a second, where you're getting in position or trying to scramble or pass guard or something. You have moments in there where clarity comes and you get to think for a second. And you know, with a guy, I don't know how many fights he has, probably close to 40 fights. You know what's illegal and what's not. So he can say whatever he wants.
Do you think he's a dirty fighter?
I mean, that's kind of I think he did some dirty things. I don't know if, you know, if he's necessarily a dirty fighter going out there planning on doing stuff, but he definitely did some foul stuff.
Is that something that you need to watch out for in this fight coming up?
I mean, rules are rules. They're there to protect people. I'm just gonna fight. Hopefully, the rule system and the referee does his job, you know, and we'll see, man. I'm not thinking about him illegally kneeing me. I'm fighting.
He had some comments yesterday, you know, feeling that he called you an undercard fighter, and I think that was more the fact that, you know, you've done more 3-round fights than 5-round fights, and he's had a lot of 5-round fights throughout his career. But you guys in the past 6 years have actually been scheduled for the exact same amount of 5-round fights. Obviously, he's, you know, had some championship bouts. Do you feel at this point that, you know, you are accustomed to being a headliner, a 5-round fighter, and like the 3 rounds kind of preparing for those type of fights is a little bit past you at this point, and this is, you know, where you are and your preparation revolves around these type of fights?
Yeah, this is my 3rd main event in a row. I've been on plenty of pay-per-views. People want to see me fight. I don't know so much if I'm an undercard fighter, but yeah, I think it's only going to be 5-round fights from here on out, you know.
You've taken to doing something charitable for every fight recently, and this one is you're donating backpacks to middle school kids in your hometown. Can you explain what that's about?
Yeah, I'm doing 500 backpacks filled with school supplies for the whole year. To a middle school me and my wife went to, and I'm also sponsoring a teacher in her classroom who runs an alternative program at the middle school to help kids who get in trouble get back into their right grades. So we're doing new computers, Chromebooks, and software for the whole classroom. So I'm excited about that, man.
You're getting honored a little bit too from that organization, right? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, American Cancer Society is nominating me for an honoree award, or actually I got it, a Spirit of Hope honoree, just for doing the stuff I've done in the community, and I'm really excited about that. I'm getting the award at a gala on the 25th next month, so I'm really happy about that, man. That means a lot to me.
What kind of inspired you to start doing this kind of thing? Because you don't see a lot of fighters doing it.
I kind of started it when we were moving. I had drawers full of fight-worn stuff, and like I don't know who I was talking to, but I told them it's cool your first few fights, like my first fight in the WEC and my first fight in the UFC, to keep those gloves. But 20-something events I fought at now, I have 20-something pairs of gloves and shorts and bloody, hand wraps, and it's still very important to me. But if I can use it to help somebody else, why not? It's just in drawers, and I'm just hoarding it, really. So me and my wife, when we were moving, we're emptying those drawers I had, and we were like, let's start auctioning this stuff off, and it turned into a nonprofit. Now I have the Good Fight Foundation, so I'm excited about all this, man. I have some big stuff in the works.
How has it kind of evolved from something as simple as that to now where you're doing something every fight?
I use the fighting as a platform to push the charitable stuff I'm doing, because I have Fox and USA Today, MMA Junkie, all this, all this media outlet that help push it. So I'm using that, but it's not just this. I'm doing stuff outside of this too. We set goals every fight, but besides the goals I set for fighting with the auctions and stuff, we're gonna do goals throughout the year.
How do you think that's gonna change if you win the championship and you kind of have that even bigger platform and that symbol of being a belt holder to even grow your platform even bigger?
That would be great. I would. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal, is to change my family's life and as many other people's lives and touch as many people as I can through this. I'm gonna fight and do this stuff anyway. So if I can reach as many people, put as many smiles as I can out there, give reason for people to cheer, that's what I fight for.